Startup Podcast PH is co-produced by Sprout Solutions. Check out our partners in the description. Startup Podcast PH is in iDEYA here at Mindanao State University, Iligan Institute of Technology, and we're interviewing Mindanao-based startups. We're interviewing Kids Who Farm and its founder, once again, Muneer Hinay. Hello.
Hello, bro.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
nice to finally meet you in person. Dati, interview kita. Actually, I think that was pandemic, so online lang tayo nag-interview and I'm actually in Luzon then, and then you're here in Zamboanga.
Yes.
You're actually in Zamboanga. But, so catch up tayo and kwentuhan lang tayo. Madami akong gustong tanongin. So, kung paano nga ba nabuo ang Kidsu Farm and more importantly, paano nga ba nabuo yung parang pagiging startup founder ng isang Muneer Hinay? Kumbaga yung passion for entrepreneurship, passion for innovation, and passion for social impact din. So, bago ang lahat, simulan muna natin sa ano nga ba ang Kids Who Farm?
Ayan. So again, Kids Who Farm is we call ourselves a non-profit startup and an advocacy initiative. No, founded by my daughter. So our founder is my daughter, Raina P. Hinay. In 2019, she was still 9 years old then. No,
So ilang taon na siya
nasa
now?
14 years
Bata
old na
pa
si
rin.
Raina. Third year high school. And our goal is to provide a platform for the meaningful participation of young people, the youth in local food systems transformation and to address pressing issues related to food security. And yun nga, a lot of these issues are real, no? And that's why
Super real.
I guess yun ang naging calling namin, kumbaga, no, dun sa area na yun.
Yan. Ayan, actually, very first of all, when I went here sa Mindanao, I found many startups na actually, kumbaga, dealing with agriculture problems and dealing with food waste and food security problems. And isa na nga dun si Kids Who Farm kasi, kumbaga, first of all, maraming farms dito sa Mindanao and kumbaga kayo yung, very close to the farming communities and I think ganun din nagmula yung passion for this. Pero simulan muna natin sa medyo past pa. So can we know more about your youth maybe, Munir? Because you mentioned to me na you're from Caraga
Yeah,
pala.
yeah.
So sige, balikan muna natin doon. And paano nga ba nabuo yung parang love for entrepreneurship, business, and then starting a startup?
Sige. I grew up in Barangay Ampayon,
I
Butuan
went there.
City.
Katabi ng
Yeah.
Caraga State University.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our house is like mga around 200 meters away from the
Malapit dun sa parang market?
Yes, a public market, no.
Yeah.
So
Naglakad-lakad ako dun so nakita ko.
doon ka pala nagstay. So doon kami like batang Ampayon ako. I graduated in Father Saturnino Orius University.
FSUU.
FSUU.
Yung sa city mismo.
Sa city mismo. Because I took up business. And my family is involved really in business. So I guess that's the bigger influence. But growing up naman, my father has a farm. We have a rice field. And that's, I can recall as young as maybe 4, 5, or 5, 6, ganyan. Sinasama niya ako sa early morning, kumbaga routine niya sa farm.
The farm is there in Ampayon?
Yeah, near our house. Kasi kung
it's a small farm lang, parang
yeah, mga around half hectare. Pero yung farm na yon ngayon subdivision na, unfortunately. And yun nga. And yun ang isa sa mga kumbaga early influences ko. But my father is really an environmentalist, no. Hindi nawala sa amin yung experience na magtanim ng kahoy every birthday because ang sabi niya at least 1 tree a year because you're consuming a lot of paper. Parang gano'n ang mga principles ba. My father is also a cooperative person. Cooperative guy. Kasi he's one of those early teams or early people in our barangay that diocesan kasi kami. So yung community noon. Yung father ko yung nag-organize ng cooperative. So currently I'm a member of that original cooperative na ginawa ng tatay ko sa barangay namin. And
until now, andun pa rin yung cooperative.
Yes, andun pa rin. So, in-enroll nila kami nung maliliit pa kami as hanggang ngayon nandun pa rin. So, kumbaga, yun yung but I took up business because of course siguro yung the family is into business, and although ang naging exposure ko later on sa parang professional life is more on development work, NGO work. But I particularly focus my kumbaga parang core expertise is to help MSMEs doon sa extension aspect, extension work. So, yan yung konting background of me.
So yeah, you did your college pala in Butuan din, no? Butuan. And then, nung nakausap kita, you're already in Zamboanga. So why did you go to Zamboanga naman?
Yeah,
And
because
until now, you're based in Zamboanga,
I'm based in
right?
Zamboanga because my wife's from there. No? So my wife is Tausug. No? Their family is originally from Sulu. Although dito na sa Zamboanga na rin siya lumaki at nag-aral sa college. No? So and I mean we work in the same NGO before. So yeah. So parang
Which NGO is that?
It's called Medium and Small Scale Industries Coordinated Action Program, Masikap Foundation. I don't know if it was a program then of the Ministry of Industry way back 70s, but it was revived as an NGO by the late former Senator Vicente Teng Paterno, who is also the owner of 7-Eleven. And it was his project kasi in Mindanao. He wanted the youth to proactively take part in the solution to SME development. So, ang ginagawa namin sa Masikap was just to develop business plans, proposals, feasibility study for communities, for SMEs in the countryside. So yun yung work ko. I was in Sarangani working with fishers, with farmers, helping them put their ideas into writing a business plan and then submit
Can you
it.
give some examples of this? Parang this is very exciting. Kasi this is what we want to see din. Parang this is what we want to promote actually. Parang, I mean, entrepreneurship for everyone, no? Or not just for the people in urban places, but really for everyone. So can we hear some examples of this?
I guess one of the early projects I did was, this is way back mga 20 years ago. So it was a project with there was a group there in Malapatan, Sarangani na mga former MNLF combatants. So they returned back to the government and then mayroon silang livelihood projects, aquaculture, lapu-lapu culture in fish cages in Sarangani Bay. So, and they need capital. They have a good project. They have already established a market connection with Alsons for a big brother, small brother growership contract. Kaso lang kulang yung capital. So we did the feasibility study. Like immersed talaga kami sinulat namin yung how to expand their fish cages and all. And applied for it for funding sa dati Peace and Equity Foundation, banks and all. So parang hand-holding ba the entrepreneurs sa buong process na yon until ma-release yung funding nila and then they implement the project.
Saan sila nakakuha ng funding? Saan possible?
Multiple sources, mostly government. Like DOLE has a funding for, di ba, organizations, DTI, banks also, land bank, but there are also private NGOs na funding them like Peace and Equity Foundation during that time. So medyo maraming depende on ang available for them for their particular project. But our goal there is to be the extensionists. I-bridge sila doon sa funding source.
Yeah, but what's amazing in that kasi parang it brings livelihood, it brings economic activity, and it brings sustainability to the community. So parang basically they already have functioning means for finances, diba? So they can settle down there and the community will thrive there. So parang it's also helping these communities really have a good lives there. So I think that's the purpose of entrepreneurship na hindi lang dapat puro profit. When you hear business entrepreneurship, it's not just about profit making, it's also about allowing communities to thrive by themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Kasi nakikita namin na all of these small enterprises na ginagawa are really creating job generation at the community level. By the way, yung ginagawa namin noon was for free. So we were like students there na helping them, di ba?
Wait lang, which are you connected when you were doing this? Like which institution?
The Masikap Foundation.
So it's like parang effort siya na foundation and then you're like
kami yung mga just to explain, Masikap noon has a program with para siyang approval with SHED. Na they can recruit, the foundation can recruit graduating business students from different universities, including MSU-IIT. Pupull out kami ng isang taon. Last year namin sa college, hindi na ako nag-aral sa Orius ng last year ko.
Talaga?
Yes, pinull out kami.
Parang na siya,
isang
OJT.
batch kami, parang ganun, more than OJT. May mga batch kami from here, from MSU-IIT, from Ateneo, and then we were trained for a month sa Davao to do the full cycle ng business planning, feasibility study, and then deployed to areas outside our places of origins. And yun ang ginagawa namin. Bumalik lang kami during graduation.
Oh. So, but I mean, is it really part na of the curriculum, or parang bigla na iba yung curriculum mo dahil dito?
Dahil nga with that shared agreement, may enrolled pa rin kami sa subjects namin. And then ang foundation na yung nagagrado sa amin based sa actual performance namin sa field.
Yeah.
It's really parang
amazing.
University of life yun.
Yeah. Actually, I need to say it now here. Ito yung na-realize ko when I went here sa Mindanao, and hearing or talking with people here, like yung mga professors here, faculty here, teachers, Sir Brasileño and Sir Marlon Novin, you know, what I noticed is that yung mga entrepreneurship courses here in Mindanao, because we have to accept the fact na sa Manila, mas marami dong investors, mas marami dong opportunities, foreign investors. Ngayon, ang nangyayari, yung mga nag-aaral doon ng entrepreneurship, business, usually, well, not all, I'm not generalizing, pero usually it becomes parang for corporate employability. So at the end of the day, yung mga Filipinos na nag-aaral ng entrepreneurship, nagiging employees or part ng VC, kumbaga they work for venture capitalists. But what I found amazing here in Mindanao, I mean, we have to accept the fact na less ang investors dito. I think everyone knows that naman na less ang, kumbaga, capital na napupunta dito. We all know like the term Imperial Manila. I mean, I don't like that term actually, pero I mean, it's a given, it's a fact ano na ang nangyayari ngayon, yung mga entrepreneurship courses dito sa Mindanao and yung mga students na nag-take up ng entrepreneurship, mas nagiging on the ground, mas nagiging practical, kumbaga, I heard from the BS Entrepreneurship here, they actually, kumbaga part ng course nila, first year pa lang, second year, bubuo na ng business plan. Third year, MVP. Fourth year, they have to implement it and they actually have to operate it. They have to make it profitable. And then yung, ayun nga, yung what you said, na parang on your fourth year, BS business, pinull out kayo, pinadala kayo sa some place, and then pinag-execute kayo ng business
Actual na.
to some communities. It's really, I mean, ang ganda rin ng ganun na parang dahil walang, parang ironic siya, na parang dahil walang opportunity, mas nagkakaroon ng opportunity, mas nagiging practical yung pag-apply ng entrepreneurship. What do you think about that, na parang yung entrepreneurship dito, mas nagiging practical, and actually, when you paglobas ka dyan sa Iligan City, and when I went there in CDO, in Butuan, ang dami mga local businesses actually, ano. So, what do you think about that, ano?
It is I mean, coming from that experience, no, parang, alam mo yung self-actualization derived from your positive contribution to countryside. At the early age, yun yung parang na-inculcate sa amin. Of course, technically, naging technical talaga kami dahil sa experience na yun. But beyond that, the technical aspect of the journey, yung realization mo na there's a bigger role for you as a student, as a graduate of business to create more impact sa community. I mean, regardless whatever na venture mo, pero yun nga, yung immersion experience really humbled us dun sa buong process na yun, na we're able to, kasi nakikita namin alam mo yung ma-release yung fund dun sa isang cooperative, and then in-implement nila. And ako, after that program, nawala na rin ako. So, I was able to go back like 10 years after, na-meet ko yung dating organization na tinulungan ko na malaki na sila ngayon. Parang sasabihin ng may-ari, actually, kasama ka dito kung hindi dahil sa ginawa nyo. Alam mo yun, hindi yan nababayaran ng pera, promise. And I guess yun ang nag-stick din sa akin personally. That's why, siguro, parang you cannot connect the dots moving forward. It's always moving backward, looking backward. So, na-realize ko na, okay, I was doing like what I'm doing now in the non-profit, because I guess yun yung malaking part ng experience ko sa early years ko.
So parang because of those immersion experiences, na-build din yung, kumbaga, love or passion for social impact, or really bringing impact to the world or to the country. So before we go to Kids of Farm, I want to ask about updates, ano ba yung mga nangyari. There's also one thing that I want to ask about your experiences here in Mindanao, kasi dati rin iniisip ko, is Philippines really an agricultural country? Kasi ang problem, meron tayong very tropical climate and marami tayong farms. Well, those farms naman are, I think, dahil sa Spain, nung kinolonize tayo ng Spain. But yung problem is the typhoons. Medyo naapektuhan ng typhoons. But I found out that here in Mindanao, less actually ang typhoons dito. I mean, meron pa rin mga damaging na typhoons and floodings. Pero I think somehow better ang land. I'm not sure. What do you think about the, kumbaga, the agricultural land here in Mindanao, the agriculture opportunities. Mas marami ba talagang farmers and fishermen dito? Tsaka what do you think of the, kumbaga, yung potential ng Mindanao of being like a really thriving food production land? So kumbaga, marami talagang farms dito and dito talaga nanggagaling yung gino-grow ng mga crops for the Philippines.
Yeah, kaya sabi nga Mindanao is the land of promise, di ba? Kasi,
Mm.
kasi nga, yun nga, aside from the vast lands,
Yeah,
you have,
it's a very big land
yeah,
actually. It's a very
yeah.
big island.
And then you have really good climate, although
Mm.
we're threatened now, no?
Mm.
Like all the places naman with climate change.
Mm.
But it has still that potential to really supply the not just for the Philippines, no, but for
Yeah, yeah.
the regional market. Pero yun nga, maraming kinakaharap na issues din na related to agrarian, related to
Mm.
climate change, and of
Mm.
course yung overall profitability ng ating farming systems. But sa tingin ko, with the right technology, and of course marami namang tumutulong ngayon, magkakaroon pa rin tayo ng opportunity to really parang, achieve that status na Mindanao can really produce, I guess, at least more than half of the country's demand, no? Pagdating sa food. Although ang challenge lang din talaga natin, based on what we have seen, is that kung hindi natin maproteksyonan yung mga food production areas natin from a lot of issues, urbanization, conversion, climate change, marginalize pa rin talaga siya in sooner than later. So kaya, while kami yung pinakamalaki sa production area, dapat top of mind din na kailangan maprotektahan din siya.
Is payroll processing taking too much of your time? Introducing Sprout Payroll Starter. For as low as 5,000 pesos per month, you get a team of experts to help you with your payroll and HR needs. We'll help compute and process payroll, handle all your government compliance requirements, and automate timekeeping. Leave the payroll to us so you can focus on growing your business. Enjoy peace of mind with Sprout Payroll Starter.
Okay. I have a lot of questions pa, no? Pero buta muna natin si Kids of Farm, ano? So, for those who want to know what Kids of Farm really is, so meron kami previous episode, and doon mas kwento ni Muneer yung pinanggalingan niya. So, it was from your daughter. It's an idea of your daughter when she was in school, ano? And then you're, kumbaga, promoting farming for young people. But yeah, so can we know updates? Ano nga ba nangyari kay Kids Who Farm since 3 years ago when I interviewed you until now? Ano bang mga milestones na na-achieve ni Kids Who Farm? Ano na nangyari kay Kids Who Farm?
Yeah. Thankfully, thank God na andito pa naman kami. And we're working more outside our city. So, kaya nandito kami sa Iligan ngayon, no? Kasi we want to collaborate with of course with MSU-IIT, iDEYA, and LGU on the innovations that we have developed and perfected, kumbaga, in Zamboanga. So we work over the last 3 years. We work mostly with our partners from the Department of Agriculture. So meron silang new program called the National Urban and Peri-Urban Agriculture Program, or DA-NUPAP, which provides a more focused intervention for urban and peri-urban communities pagdating sa agriculture. So we are partners with them in terms of techno transfer. So we train different communities outside Zamboanga na, no?
Wait, I have a question pala. So how exactly are you implementing si Kids Who Farm? How exactly are you implementing this to schools or to communities?
It's a mixed sector. So we have partnerships with schools, with communities, with institutions. We work with hospitals to build micro farms in the hospitals. So ganun, no? And we have a number of innovations na pwedeng pang household level, like the ones we're promoting now, yung Gardenator, yung vertical barrel drum where you can grow your food and you can compost your waste.
Oh, how big is that?
It's a 1 meter, yung size ng drum na gawa sa yung ginagamit sa vegetable oil sa mga bakery. So it's a low-tech innovation na pinopromote namin kasi it's easy for the household to grow food and at the same time, doon natin tinatapon yung mga basurang nabubulok.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
yan ang binibenta na in a way namin na idea. It's called the whole concept, the whole system is called food loop. It's the food loop closes the loop between food waste and food production at the household level.
Amazing. Kasi, I mean, yun nga, I mean, if you have food waste, I mean, kumbaga, pinagbalatan ng mga patatas, ng mga carrots, doon mo na siya ilalagay.
Sa gitna ng drum.
And then, doon ka na magtatanim.
Doon ka na magtatanim sa paligid kasi may mga pocket hole siya.
Ano mga plants pala yung pwedeng itanim dito? Or
yeah, practically maraming gulay, different gulays. And we also promote mga indigenous vegetables. Kasi hindi mo na kailangang bumili pa ng seeds ulit. Tusok mo lang, like for example, you're familiar with talinum. Talinum is a leafy plant na parang alugbate. Yan, alugbate at the same time. Yun pinopromote namin. Kasi in a climate-defined future, kung ang future natin talaga ganito na, yung resilience aspect kasi will require more adaptable technologies, low-tech approaches for people to have access to food. And then yung mga crops should be resilient enough to survive kahit sobrang init, sobrang lakas ng ulan. So that's why our indigenous gulay talaga, no-brainer. Even indigenous trees, kaya pinopromote yung mga ganun. Kasi yun ang mga climate resilient varieties. So that's why we're also promoting that one.
The Gardenator, right?
It's in the Gardenator. So Gardenator is our low-tech, low-cost, compact farming tool, no, to address the pressing issue of food waste and food security.
And you can plant any plant there, and then maganda if you plant those,
Yes, indigenous. So imagine na lang mga bahay, houses on stilts, meron silang Gardenator.
Yeah.
So mga communities natin na fishing kasi micronutrient deficiency. Walang gulay. Maraming isda, walang gulay. So merong gulay sila mimix sa kanilang For urban households, walang space to grow. So you can just put your Gardenator in sa taas ng
lalo na yung mga apartment,
condo, yes, apartment.
Na condominium na walang
space,
horizontal, walang space, walang area, walang floor area. So it can be a vertical
Yeah. So that's just one of the things that we're doing. The program that we have sa Kids Who Farm is composed of 3 pillars lang naman kami.
Ano yung 3 pillars?
So we have number 1 is what we call hyperlocal food network. This is where all of those micro farming intervention.
You mentioned that last time.
Comes in, training, and we have the hyperlocal capital community savings club.
So ito, for who yung mga lalapitan nyo for that?
This is the one we partner with, like DA to support the communities, provide them tech logistics. So we provide the trainings, establish a community microfarm.
What example of communities?
Sorry.
What example of communities?
Yeah, like in Zamboanga, we have diba communities na low income, mga communities, like mostly.
So like neighborhoods, basically.
Neighborhoods, like we work with women's association, PWD association, yung gano'n, no? So,
and you teach them how to grow their own food.
Yes, through urban farming technologies.
They have their own food production and it makes them sustainable kasi may food sila. I mean, they can grow their own food.
They can sell it hyper-local, meaning sa community lang. You don't need to sell it to big malls and all. Ang idea natin kasi talaga, that's why we call it hyper-local food system kasi yun naman ang kailangan yung pinakamalapit sa'yo. You want to bring food closer to people.
Yeah, tsaka nangyari kasi ngayon, like for example ako, I grew up in an urban city. Nasanay na ako na binibili ko yung mga pagkain, fruits, vegetables sa grocery, na actually ang dami na pinagdaanan yan, supply chain-wise. So,
yes.
And kasama doon, umangat yung price niya. Tsaka pag nagkaroon ng pandemic, nagkaroon ng lockdowns, supply chain problems, mawawalan ako ng source ng ng pagkain. Pero if it's hyper local, like in the community, they grow their own food, they trade their own food. It's pero kumbaga sila self-sufficient sila when it comes to food.
And there will always be a market, no? Sabi nila hindi, na-prove na namin There's always a market.
Yeah, actually. I think ang kailangan lang dyan is awareness, kasi nasanay na nga yung mga tao na ang pagkain ay binibili sa grocery, Hindi tayo nasanay na we can actually grow our own food. So, awareness and kumbaga education. Maybe I can call that agricultural literacy, na kaya as an individual, as a household, kaya pala nating magtanim ng sarili nating mga pagkain.
Yan. So, Gardenator is under our program called Kids Can Compost. So,
it is the second pillar?
Second pillar. So, that Kids Can Compost kasi addresses naman the issues of innovations pagdating sa food waste and So doon pumapasok. Mayroon kaming mga program ngayon bago lang na like urban microforest. So we're doing micro nurseries and all. All of that in a context of urban. Kasi if you have a micro farm, ang next step would be to also create something na green space.
Oh.
So
How micro is this microforest?
100 square meter you can do.
Oh.
You can use Miyawaki method.
Alam mo, idagdag ko lang ulit have you been to Manila recently to
Saan ba saan?
Or-
Hindi, I have
kasi,
been, pero
like,
mostly QC.
QC, yeah, QC. I mean, but Metro Manila, do you know the Arosaros Forest Park?
Yes, of
Yeah,
course.
it's the last lang kumbaga of the
That's a
of Manila.
microforest, pero
okay,
bigger version lang siya. But
Yeah.
the microforest can be as small as 100 square
Smaller
meter.
pa,
Like what we do now, like ngayon, like season ng fruits. So we will do collection ng mga seeds. You donate your seeds to us, we will make it into the nursery in our partner communities and then deploy the seedlings later.
Yeah, that's very good. Pero ang question is, like for example, in Manila, in a metropolitan area na, saan ka hahanap doon ng lugar to make those microforests?
Normally, ini-integrate natin siya sa microfarm. Kung saan may garden, hindi mo kailangan na malaki talaga. Like, it can be the perimeter of your garden where you plant these fruit trees. Yung mga fruit trees na hindi naman ganoon kalaki, tumubo talaga, rambutan, maliit lang yan. Yan. So,
tsaka well pa dyan sa mga sa mga schools nga or
pwede
sa
sa schools.
Yung mga usually mga ibang schools like for example sa Philippine Science High School sa QC and may sa likod doon yung wildlife. Parang may vast lands pa doon na pwede possible.
And yan, it's still a food forest. So more focus kami naman doon sa mga fruit trees kasi it's still food. At the end of the day, you have a forest pero you have food.
Tsaka dagdag kita siya for the people there.
Tapos, diba, imagine nga may garden ka dito, you grow the vegetables, diba? Month in, month out, may harvest yan. But your fruit trees sa gilid, namumunga yan every year. So may kita pa rin. Or may pagkain pa rin. So that's our idea of hyper-local food network.
Tsaka connected nga siya sa I mean, with regard to food waste nga, mas
yes, pati food waste. Yung Gardenator is our way to address food waste at the household level. Kasi kung ang problema natin sa basura nagsisimula sa mga bahay, dapat ang solution also starts at home. Pero doable technology. And then the last program we have is on sustainability na. That's why we have this mga financial literacy savings program. Ito yung field dev namin na pinanulunan na innovation sa financial literacy. Kasi kung kumita na nga yung community, next step would be to also help them manage their income. So parang masustain nila yon. And there's a mechanism for that na sinet up namin. And so we're increasing also the number of community savings clubs na na-organize namin. From the last time we talked, mga 5, ngayon nasa 18 na yan.
Oh, wow. Ang bilis na I mean, in 2 years. So, ang galing, no? So, yung 3 pillars, parang food production,
and environment, then next is parang food waste management, parang pag-handle ng food waste, and then, actually, food waste connected din sa food production. And then yung third is sustainability. Yung enterprise financial literacy.
For you, Muneer, what's yung ano yung pinaka-success story? I think madami, pero ano yung parang pinaka-successful na bring na impact maybe ni Kids Who Farm? What do you think?
Well, I always go back kasi doon sa original intent. Diba? Parang I will say na you chase the vision, all the other things will just come. So, ang original vision naman ng Kids Who Farm was really ng aming founder. It's very simple. Let's make farming fun and easy. Let's make farming parang something na everyone can participate in. So, I guess beyond the community impact, yung nakita ko naman is that how we were able to shape behaviors ng mga kabataan na naging involved doon sa ginagawa nating advocacy. And yun ang sa tingin ko pinakamalalim na impact ng ginagawa natin. Yung kaya inspiring future farmers yung namin, yung battle cry. Kasi kailangan natin talaga to inspire. And kung wala silang makita, walang may inspire. Walang stories walang may inspire.
I have 2 questions dyan. First question, how do you connect with the youth? And yun nga, how do you motivate them? Kasi usually ang youth naman parang, I mean, the youth are actually very shapeable pa, pero parang sometimes the youth then the young people are madami pinagkakabalahan or nag-aaral and then may mga games, may mga kung ano, may mga gala. I mean, so how do you teach them? How do you bring farming to them?
We have a volunteering program. To start with, Kids Who Farm is a volunteering organization.
Okay. So youth can volunteer there.
Yes, so it's an ongoing, ever since we started, we have already around 180 volunteers. And
So saan
then,
nanggagaling mga volunteers?
I mean, in Zamboanga, different universities, we have professionals. And then we actively do our monthly volunteering activity called Garden Attack.
Ay, parang nabanggit mo rin yung last
Yes,
time.
yes. And then from that volunteers, we have parang we built para siyang a team, technical team of highly trained volunteers who's now part of the team ng Kids of Farm to do all these trainings sa DA and all. So, yan. So, nagkakaroon kami. So, what's in it for them? Of course, all of this exposure, lahat ng ano. And hindi naman to, there's an opportunity for them to really immerse themselves dito sa mga new learnings.
And usually ito mga to ay mga college students. Kasi I also want
not
to...
necessarily.
Pwedeng graduate na ganun.
Yeah.
Pwedeng mas bata pa.
Mas bata pa.
But ang question ko is, why do they volunteer? Have you asked them?
Yeah, yun yung common ground namin lahat eh. Kasi it's very hard to look for people na ganun similar, like-minded ba? But I guess yung common ground namin is, of course, all of them have the heart for community. Not so much na magaling sa agriculture kasi pwedeng pag-aralan yan. Okay lang yan.
Yeah.
Ang common namin lahat is gusto naming may mag-serve sa community.
Yeah, kasi I'm thinking lang, for example, in UP, I'm from UP Diliman, mag-post ako dyan or mag-announce ako na looking for volunteers for urban farming, agriculture. May mag-volunteer ba kaya? I mean, ganun ba siya basically, ginagawa ninyo?
I guess most meron naman. Nag-start naman kami na
most
very
likely
few.
meron naman talaga.
Very few. And na-realize din namin during the pandemic, it was the parang peak talaga ng volunteering program namin na nung pandemic, maraming youth na gustong help us to build the garden sa community. Gustong maging meaningful yung
kanilang... True, marami naman sa mga kabataan ngayon ang
Oo. Very well informed naman yung mga kabataan eh. And of course, mayroon namang way forward din how to cultivate volunteer. I mean, pinag-aralan din naman natin yan. So, of course, may mga what's in it for them. Of course, may ganyan. And that's part of our role now sa Kids of Farm to make sure that the passion and the commitment is still there.
Ang galing na, parang as leader of Kids of Farm, as CEO ba, right? CEO bang yung role?
Parang
parang leader ka of the operations, pero leader ka rin of the volunteers eh. Parang, and nagiging win-win siya kasi dumadami yung taong advocates of food sustainability and of caring about the agriculture. Now, yung second question ko about that, so when you go to the communities, for example, when you go to the schools, when you go to the neighborhoods, the communities, how do you encourage them to farm? Kasi baka same, meron silang parang resistance na we can buy naman sa palengke, we can buy naman sa grocery, so why do we need to magtatanim pa and then matagal pa hihintayin? So, how do you deal with that naman?
Very strategic naman yung programming namin. So, when we go to communities, we normally partner with a group. It's either a women's association, di ba? A PWD association, or whoever na recommend ng partner namin. DA has a lot of like organizations. So we start there para meron kang angkla. Hindi lang kahit na sino yan.
That's true.
And
magsimula sa parang organization talaga.
Or may cases na kami ang nag-organize. Pero medyo long shot, medyo mahabang process yan. Matrabaho siya, pero worth it naman. Yung organization, doon namin binubuhos yung techno-transfer namin. So of course, they need to look for an area where they can grow it, train them. Ang good thing is that there's our partnership with this DA, logistic support. Yung mga kailangan nilang tool seeds, hindi na lang problema yun. We can facilitate it for them.
Okay.
So, basta importante, they're committed to it. So, may vetting din naman na nangyayari sa end namin na kung hindi talaga supportive ang community, kahit na-recommend di ganyan, di namin naman sila pinipilit. So, nagkakaroon ng higher level of success because of all of this, di ba, parang stakeholders working together to help them. So, our role there is and then later on, our role will be to bring in the youth to help build the microfarm, yung mga activities na yun, nagkakaroon ng immersion experience ng mga youth. So, we start there. For other partners like hospitals. So, we work with the Zamboanga City Medical Center, the Apex Hospital in Zamboanga, to establish their urban farm. That naman is of the sino yung nagmamanage ng hospital.
Yeah, yung leader din talaga. We talk to the leader.
We talk to the leader. We present the concept. The leader parang hires someone to oversee it. We train tech transfer, facilitate logistic support. Yan. For private hospitals, ibang usapan din yun. Kasi they have the resources, they can tap us. Like, they can tap us to parang consult for them. Parang ganon.
Actually, parang ano rin, no? Parang naging consulting firm na rin kayo somehow for organizations, for hospitals, for schools who want to go into urban farming. Kasi you teach, you provide manpower, you provide every support, ano? As long as they want to do that, you're there to support them.
Yes. Pag ano lang naman, sa community talaga, a lot of it are really pro bono. Oo. But alam naman namin sino yung mga may pera at wala eh. But, but yun nga, that's a way naman for us to also sustain ourselves. But for the community, it's really something that medyo much meaningful yung journey because kita mo talaga yung gaano sila doon, yung buong process ba? Hanggang nag-succeed sila.
Kasi ano naman, no? I mean, Kids Who Farm is a non-profit eh. So, para ang nangyayari dyan, Kids Who Farm as a non-profit, you do these things for communities. Yung iba medyo mas walang pera. You do these things for maybe mas may pera ng mga institutions. So, para nangyayari, nag-flow yung pera from those who can provide to those who cannot provide.
Exactly.
So, kayo yung parang sa inyo dumadaan then somehow, of course, to help you operate, to help you become sustainable as an organization. But at the end of the day, kumbaga, somehow natutulungan din naman talaga nito yung at the end yung mga communities.
Yeah.
And then ang ganda rin na yung sa volunteers nga parami yung mga volunteers na actually nagkakaroon ng immersion experiences. So you kumbaga parang you're building the next Muneer Hinays or you're building the next entrepreneurs.
Sana maka-inspire. Oo.
Na ito rin yung passion, ito rin yung advocacy.
Yeah. I mean, we can only do so much naman eh. Kasi ang realization ko naman din, bro, just identify the area kung saan mo pwedeng isolve yung problema. Kasi you cannot solve all the problem.
Yeah.
And I guess ito na yung sphere kung saan at least may pwede kaming magagawang positive. And yun nga, may impact na pwedeng magawa kahit maliit.
Yeah, so you're so you started this in Zamboanga. So now you're also doing this in Iligan, so palaki na ba ng palaki yung impact ni Kids Who Farm, yung mga communities that you deal with? So asa na nga ba ang mga communities that you help?
We after nung nag-usap tayo, we had a partnership with PLDT and Smart. So we're in Bukidnon. So we partnered with them to establish school micro farms sponsored by them. Everything, and then establish it in six Jesuit-run schools, including the retreat house sa Malaybalay. And then we are in Cagayan de Oro. Our anchor partner there is the USTP through the Center for Human Development. And then our youth volunteer partners are connected with the Cagayanon Youth Network. It's a network of out-of-school youth facilitated by USAID under Opportunity 2.0. Sila yung maging technical team din namin. So they're able to facilitate projects naman in Cagayan de Oro. Microfarming projects. Parang technically replicating what we did in Zamboanga dito sa Cagayan de Oro. And siguro ang outside Mindanao lately is Cebu.
Meron na din.
So we work with the City Agriculture Department of Cebu. Yung City Ag talaga nila to replicate the Gardenator. Oo, so nag-tech transfer na kami, and then we work with the pinaka top 10 na mga very dense barangay in
Cebu City?
Cebu City mismo.
That's nice.
So happy kami na the City Agriculture was when presented the idea, kita kaagad niya yung impact. So let's bring that one here.
Yeah,
and
kasi ang Cebu City napaka-populated na rin, and actually medyo magulo na rin dun yung city. So maganda kung may urban farms na.
And yun nga, nakita na yung spectrum namin, parang sobrang dense urban. And then we have the islands. Island communities like in Basilan. We work with Isabela City to deploy all of this technology sa mga communities doon na mga mostly houses on stilts for them to have access to food.
So sa Luzon?
Yun ang
papunta doon.
May mga collab lang, mga parang advocacy collab lang. Wala talagang project. But we work with a number of naman. I mean, di na kami nagmamadali. So,
Tsaka I like how you use the term tech transfer. I mean, some people when they hear tech transfer, parang unang isipin dyan, syempre something digital, something very computer related. Pero I mean, but no, this is actually technology. This is actually, I mean, this is farming technology, and it's actually technology.
Kami nga, we realize kasi, if napansin mo, we're so, with low-tech approaches.
Yeah. But it's still tech. Yeah.
It's low-tech is not no-tech. No, so and these are the
Hindi, tsaka ano nga, I have to, kasi hindi naman forget digital, high-tech eh. I mean, what do you say, what is high, what is low? Diba? I mean, this is, basically, I have to say, that's digital tech or computer tech. This is agricultural tech. That's it.
So, kami lang naman, whatever is the need sa community.
Yeah,
Parang
exactly.
i-match mo lang naman yun eh.
Exactly.
Kasi kung hindi naman din nila need or hindi nila afford, sayang din.
Actually, super, for me nga, super high-tech ng gardenator eh. Kasi first, that's a problem, food production and food waste. And kumbaga, it's something new. It's an innovative model. It's an innovative quote-unquote device or something there na you can easily procure, you can easily put into a house or into a community, and you can easily operate. So, that's tech.
Thank you so much for saying that. Ang amin lang naman is like it's more sober, circular, kasi we don't want to extract new resources. Ano nakikita mo, yun na lang gamitin natin kasi dami na rin basura eh. Yeah.
Ayun. So, grabe let's start to wrap up this conversation. Naka 40 minutes na pala tayo. Grabe, ang bilis ng usapan. Ano lang, siguro, ano pa bang future for Kids Who Farm? Ano ba ang nakikita niyong growth potentials or parang direction? What's the roadmap ba? Especially as a non-profit, parang mas goal nyo talaga yung delivering impact eh. So, ano ba yung parang future ninyo na gustong magawa?
So, ang amin lang naman, we want to scale up in Mindanao primarily to more cities adapting all the urban agriculture technologies, more solid partnerships with our partners from the government, especially the DA, NUPAP, and more institutions adapting these urban agriculture technologies to also provide sustainability for them, like in mga hospital have access to food, parang gano'n, no? So this like medyo marami talagang pwedeng mangyari. But ang area of focus muna namin talaga is to work primarily in Mindanao.
Yeah.
Kasi dito namin nakikita yung immediate impact na namin. Organizationally, of course, we are very dynamic, no? Pwedeng ang aming team come and go. Pero yun nga, if you stick to your vision, yun naman yung core namin. We want to develop more as an organization. In fact, in Zamboanga, we're creating a new group of young farmers na we wanted to organize also as a co-op or an association. So, yung mga ideas for now. But, of course, very well guided naman kami sa core vision ng aming founder na not to complicate things.
By the way pala, so si daughter, so ano pa ang kanyang kumbaga on her perspective naman. And how frequent does she meddle with Kids Who Farm? Do you meet with her regularly? I mean, does she direct it really based on her I mean, given naman nag-aaral pa siya, given na she also has another school stuff to do.
She's our inspiration. So whenever, of course, she participates on weekends and holidays, but she gives talks. She also provides tech transfer meron naman siyang module. But yun nga, the fact that she's there to just say hi and hello to kids whenever we have activities. Kasi I can speak a lot pero I think hindi ganun impactful yung ko pagkaharap ko. But when Rhina's there and talking like we were
as a kid din.
We're in Isabela City. Siya yung keynote speaker alongside the Mayor Hataman. And when she speaks kasi parang ako naman, I'm always a fan. Parang kahit ako ang father, nakikita ko siya nagsasalita. And then, di ba, parang, and everyone else naman will see her na di ba, ano yung story niya. So parang, and that, I guess, sa totoo lang, kahit yun lang okay na ako And that I can see like, makikita mo yung mga mukha ng mga bata na kung kayang gawin ni Rhina, kayang gawin din nila. Alam mo yun?
Exactly, yun. Exactly. Ang ganda nun, no?
Ayun,
ang ganda nun.
Oo. So, that's it. So, I mean, kami naman, we're just taking all of this like one step at a time. And sabi ko nga, hindi naman tayo nandito para isolve lahat ng problema. But I guess, for me to inspire a few of my family members, my friends, is more than enough. Pero to inspire a community is super duper. Hindi ko na ma-imagine ano yung impact nun sa akin.
So si Rhina yung parang muka ng Kids Who Farm na talaga nagbe-bring no nung movement, and then kumbaga you're the kumbaga taga-execute and
Kaya
taga-operate
nga.
nung
Operator lang ako.
operator
Operator lang ako.
nung directives ni Raina, the original
Kaya,
founder nito.
siya naman talaga yun.
Ayun, so grabe, maraming salamat, Muneer. Napakagandang kwentuhan nito about Kids Who Farm, about yung 3 pillars, ang ganda ng programs for food production and the environment, food waste management, and sustainability ng livelihood ng mga communities. And then, yung mga thoughts natin about agriculture, farms here in Mindanao, urban farms. So, maraming salamat, Munir. And if our listeners pala want to know more about Kids Who Farm and you and maybe Raina, so how can they connect with you? Maybe you can lead them to website or social media channels.
Yeah, bago yan, gusto kong mag-thank you sa'yo. Welcome to Mindanao. No?
Thank you
so much.
I like it
talaga.
here, actually. I like it here.
Yeah, ako natutuwa talaga. One of these days, pumunta ka din sa Zamboanga. No? So,
next time, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm so happy na you're here to amplify the stories ng mga startups dito, and okay naman Mindanao.
Maganda.
But beyond siguro doon is, I guess yung Startup Podcast kasi is a platform talaga na nandoon eh.
Yeah, actually nag-start nga sa Manila. So, but na-realize ko nga na I should as Startup Podcast PH, meron akong PH na name eh. So, I should represent the Philippines as a whole, hindi lang Manila, hindi lang Luzon. So, dapat talaga Visayas and Mindanao din.
Or maybe Filipino startups from abroad, no?
Yeah, pwede rin. Pwede rin.
So, I guess sa amin naman, you can check us out. We're very much active on social media. No, we have also a Telegram, Viber, and WhatsApp channels that you can check. Although wala kami YouTube, pero okay na kami. Madami kami trabaho. At least from time to time, you can check us on Facebook and IG, so you can get updated. We normally share a lot of our activities on these platforms. Of course, for now, very face-to-face. Wala pa masyadong virtual kasi pwede naman na tayong magharapan. But I guess one of these days, maybe, kung may tanong kayo, you can reach out to us. We have a number of learning materials out there we can share to you. Videos, mga modules na if you want to grow your food, if you want to know how to do container gardening,
actually,
hydroponics.
Ako personally gusto ko matuto, actually.
Yeah, and bibigay namin sa iyo lahat. Walang bayad yun.
Thank you.
You can be assured of that. We provide this info materials free for you to learn. So at the end of the day, it's always naman I guess we can start small. So sabi nga, great things start from small beginning. So if you want to grow your food, you can start with a pot, simple container, you plant alugbati, yan lang naman yun. At kangkong, at kamote tops, na cuttings. Start from there.
Yeah.
And then learn from it.
Yeah.
And the important thing is that you're doing it.
Yeah, you started.
Don't be afraid to make mistakes kasi those people na hindi nakagawa ng mali, yung walang ginagawa at all.
True.
So ayun, so that's it from my end.
Ayun, sige na nga, I'll start then. I'll start small and have my own very small urban farm, and sana mapalaki ko siya into bigger Parang gusto ko i-try yung Gardenator.
Yes. Yeah.
But ayun, thank you so much, Muneer, and thank you for sharing all of this to the podcast. Salamat.
Thank you so much, Startup Podcast PH.
Thank you very much to our 50 patrons. This episode is super powered by AskLex PH Academy, our official e-learning partner. Get certifications on Lean Six Sigma, project management, data science, and more. 1. CFO services, bookkeeping and tax, and payroll processing for startups and small businesses. Tuala, privacy-focused digital experience for sharing identity information across Web 2 and Web 3 ecosystems. Better Support, a Manila-based BPO company. They are offering a referral program for anyone who can bring in new BPO clients. If you know any Western-based business that might have a need, let us know. Britanna, a cloud-based enterprise-grade ERP solution that fits the small and medium business budget. Fail Coach, business training, coaching, and consulting for startups and SMEs that are scaling or finding product market fit. Wonder Brand, next generation data science-driven brand strategy and design company for emerging markets. School Tech, all-in-one AI integrated school and learning management system for small and medium schools. Doon, Philippines' first fully insured peer-to-peer car sharing marketplace. East Point Business Outsourcing Services, the one-stop shop for streamlined business solutions for MSMEs such as business registration, bookkeeping, and more. And Space Cebu, global co-working space, private office, and meeting rooms for startups, digital nomads, and freelancers. Mami Wiki Super Pet App, the Philippines' first ever one-stop mobile app for pet products and services. MarketMind Local, a digital marketing company focused in helping small and medium businesses. Mata Technologies, Philippines' premier provider of virtual tours and maps for LGU's real estate, tourism, and private businesses. Hire Business Solutions, provider of the most configurable cloud-based payroll system in the Philippines. Smile, consent-driven digital employment verification service to make smarter decisions faster. DVCo Technologies, IT solutions specializing in software development, blockchain smart contracts, digital wallets, and cybersecurity. Drive Manila, PH's largest peer-to-peer car rental community. Ignite Careers, career matching platform for Filipino talents and hiring companies in the outsourcing industry. Looking for buy and sell online with Sigurado sellers. NutriCoach, personalized nutrition and weight loss programs for you. Benjoy's Food Products, the home of premium bacon ends, tapa, and tocino. This episode is powered by Contact RFID Business Cards, Dohe Philippines, Edfolio, Hive Rooms, Kazam, Codesham, Jure.ph, Big Giant Games, Founders Launchpad, Packetworks, Uplift Code Camp, Pareto Consulting, Agile Data Solutions, Hassel PH, Board Prep, Zales, Sirius MD, Pahatid PH. Please support the podcast through the links in the description.